We will discuss Wheatstone bridge and Kirchhoff's laws, but the major application of Wheatstone bridge, especially in our class 12, practical application of Wheatstone bridge is a meter bridge. Why I said practical application? In practical, in practical examination also, we will apply it. Even in a theory also, the same thing. Here, one ball, two shots. Why one ball, two shots? I am telling. If you read the current electricity second part very properly, you will have the benefit in theory marks as well as practical marks. Always in practical, while doing the experiment, people will have the confuse. Why they will have the confusion in the sense they should understand they need to avoid their confusion in the sense they should understand theoretically perfectly. When they understood theoretically, if they go to the practical, without the help of teacher, they can do their experiment very properly. Let us see. Meter bridge works on the principle of Wheatstone bridge. This is the first point ever you never forget. Okay. So this is the first point you can see. Meter bridge. It's a bridge. Since I said the word bridge, it is a wooden bridge or wooden frame. On that you have two pointers, metallic turns, terminals A and B, and at the same time, after this L shape, in the middle there is a one more wooden frame. Between the wooden frame, again there are some metallic terms you will find practically when you see the bridge. These are the terms everywhere. It acts as a connectors, okay, or contact points, entire bridge. A to B between them, there is a 1 meter length of a wire we are using. Okay, and this wire we are using on a 1 meter scale exactly. Wooden scale we are fixing on that we are using. This wire is made up of resistance materials like constant and manganese materials we are using. Why we are using? Since it is having high resistivity, then when we are allowing to flow the current, small amount of current flows. With respect to that currents, we are estimating the value of resistance in the bridge. See here, this is one part of resistance. If I'll connect here, this is another part. Okay, left arm, right arm, let us say. And down one complete arm you are seeing resistance wire. In this resistance wire, we are dividing as two, then therefore we have a four branches in the resistance. Okay, how the four branches comes you can see. You are seeing now only three branches of resistance in the bridge, but it is same analogy to the Wheatstone bridge. Of course, we need to do this experiment extra support, that is EMF, okay, as well as key. This is a resistance box which we are connecting externally, and this is the X. This is the unknown resistance which we are connecting. Let us say, or you can connect on resistance box place also, no problem. Just we are interchanging. The formula will be changes, but finally our goal is to find the unknown resistance. We'll find it. Now I have connected from the middle terminal. There is a wire. Between the wire you are finding G symbol that is called as galvanometer and jock J. Okay, and you also see here that jock J is touching the wire. It is like a pen jockey we call. It touches wire. Wherever it touches the wire, with respect to that, in galvanometer we will find the deflection. So, for example, at a particular point, the deflection comes zero. Then this is a part of some length. This is another part of length we will take. This is as a one resistance. This is as a another resistance we will consider. That's why we have here four arms. That is, this is a one arm of the resistance. This is another arm of the resistance. That can be written as 100 total, 100 centimeters in the sense 100 minus L is another part. Why we are considering, we know that resistance is directly proportional to the length of the wire or a conductor. So on that base we will proceed. And see further. As I said, when the galvanometer current is made zero, why we said? We are using the jockey, we are checking at particular point, the galvanometer current will be zero. It simply will be zero? No, we have to adjust such a way that this resistance box here. What we have to do here? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
we have to change the resistance value in this. Therefore, with respect to that, we have to keep suitable resistance. Therefore, with respect to that, at a particular length, out of this 100, at a particular length, galvanometer is comes to the zero position. Okay, therefore we understood that current flowing to the galvanometer is zero. Then this is a L centimeters, in the sense this is 100 minus L. Let us say here you got a deflection zero in the galvanometer at 60 centimeter. Okay, out of 100 at 60 centimeter you got, in the sense here to here 60, then rest of the part is obviously 40, right? So 60 is R1 and R2 is as a 40, and R3, R4 you are seeing in the diagram. One is X, one is a resistance box. Such a way we will find the unknown resistance in the circuit. That you can see, as I said, the formula of O resistance P by Q equal to R by S based. R, what is the R which have taken the resistance box is R. Let us say this is P as per the Wheatstone bridge, by X. P by Q we have taken there in the Wheatstone bridge. Next, RAJ or JB means A to J, whatever the wire length is there, and that is RAJ, resistance per unit wire, per unit centimeter of a wire we are taking here. Same RJB means resistance across J to B, whatever the length, per unit length. That we will rewrite like this. A to J, J to B is a length, but we can write as R by X as usual direct resistance, whereas AG is as a L, AJ, and JB is taken as 100 minus L. From the diagram it is. Okay. Therefore,
Yes.
therefore, if you see the unknown resistance is X, which we have taken. So with respect to the unknown resistance X, X equal to, we can write R into 100 minus L by L, we can write that. Okay. So this is a way we can find unknown resistance by using the meter gauge. Listen here, practically we can find the unknown resistance by using the Ohm's law circuit diagram, and from that practical, and second thing by the meter bridge. Okay, practically we have two options, but meter bridge we are learning. So with respect to meter bridge, after finding the unknown resistance, whatever this wire is there, this wire length as well as diameter, if you find by using the screw gauge. We studied in 11th standard screw gauge experiment. I hope you know it. Okay. Whether you don't know also, no problem. The screw gauge is a device which is used to measure the diameter of a wire. So by applying this, by using screw gauge, we are finding the diameter of this. Since we know the diameter as well as length, we can find the resistivity of the wire also. So
Yes.
sometimes the aim of the experiment in the practical, they're asked determine the resistivity of a given wire by using the meter gauge, or instead of giving the resistivity word, they will give nicely find the resistance of a wire per unit centimeter. To determine the resistance of a wire per unit centimeter, they'll ask. So the asking way is different, the examiner. Okay, but for all
Yes.
this we will use this one. I'll show you the animation of the practical afterwards. Now after the meter bridge, most important bridge, or we can say that experiment also. From this experiment, from the previous meter bridge experiment, we have an option to do three experiments. What are those? One is a resistivity, and if you connect here in series and parallel, are you aware of that series and parallel connection? We have
Yes.
studied already. When you are taking
Yes.
in series and parallel, just I am connecting the resistance here in the place of X is in a series. I know series connection, one after the other, if you are connecting, then it will be a series. Okay, X1, X2. Okay, if it is I wanted to connect parallel, then one more resistance I'll connect like this together. This is X1 in the sense, this is X2,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Therefore, we can find uh, other two experiments also we can use by using the meter bridge to determine the or to verify the law of combination of resistors in series and to verify the law of combination of resistance in parallel. The questions can be asked like this. So here our intention is to know the things, how many questions, what now will be asked from one experiment, what are the origin. This is the origin concept. From this concept, how many things we will get to know. That is most important. That is a full-fledged of understanding of the topic.
Yes, sir.
Same way, we have potentiometer. Look at here. You're finding there are the number of wires, I mean different lengths of the wire. From A is one terminal. Let us, I'll show consecutively. First, from A to end, from there to this end, from here to here, here to here. You're finding four wires. Four wires, each having the length 100 centimeters. Therefore, total 400 centimeters. Basically, in potentiometer, we will use 400 centimeters wire. If you want better results, good accuracy, you can use 10 wires also. But if you use 10 wires potentiometer, it's so better to get the result very easily. And most of the people felt difficult in the experimentation of potentiometer. It is not the difficulty in doing, it is the difficulty in setting only in this experiment. That is the most important. What is a potentiometer, first of all? Sir, why these many wires we are connecting? There is a principle. You know or you don't know, till now we are using the voltmeter. What is the function of voltmeter? To find the potential difference in a circuit or in anywhere usable, right? But in a cell, for example, when I am finding cell's EMF or potential difference by using this voltmeter, I'll not get 100% result. Why? Internal resistance is there, and 100%. So this cell is very small voltage. Let us say 2 volts or 5 volt cell. It is very difficult to give result. So since it is 5 volt cell or 2 volt cell, the result has not obtained properly with this voltmeter. But if I use a potentiometer, I'll get the result very accurate. Okay. Why is
Yes.
that? Let me know. Let me tell that why it is like that. Potentiometer is a device which determines or which finds the potential difference across the length of the wire provided the current flowing through the wire is constant and area of cross section is also constant. Therefore, the simply V potential difference across the wire is directly proportional to the length of that wire. Okay, this is we call as potentiometer principle. What is that? Potentiometer principle. So from this we will have, if V is directly proportional to L in the sense K is a constant, I'll get, where K is called as proportionality constant or potential gradient we call. Potential gradient. Therefore, K equal to, we can also write V by L. Volt per meter, the units we will apply. So how it works here? You can see here. You have seen the wires. The wires are connected with the external battery EMF which you are supplying. This is the ammeter which we are connecting. This is a rheostat which we need to adjust the resistance in the external circuit. These are the components are part of primary circuit of potentiometer. What are those? Primary circuit of potentiometer. Potentiometer will do what? First thing, potentiometer is used to determine the EMF of the cell. One thing. Second thing, potentiometer is used to compare the EMF of the two cells when it is connected. And potentiometer is also used to find the internal resistance of the cell. Are you getting my point? These
Yes,
three
sir.
are experiments. These three are experiments in our practicals also, practical examination also. But most of the cases we will do internal resistance and comparison of two cells. Now, whatever you are seeing the diagram in the circuit, this is a primary circuit of the potentiometer. For this circuit, whatever our aim is there, how we can use it, this circuit further, that all external circuit which we are connecting, means secondary part. See, I have connected a voltmeter. Through the voltmeter or through the galvanometer, I am using the jog J. Same this jog J is sliding, we are sliding on the wire. In meter bridge, we slided the wire only across 100 centimeter. But we have to slide the wire, enter the wire, wherever you got the null point is 0 in the circuit, then our connections are right. Our connections are correct. Okay, to get null point is so I can't say difficult. It's patient's job. Means with proper careful connections and smoothly you have to handle and you have to do the experiment. As I said, potential drop across per unit length to the wire. So per unit centimeter you are seeing. The key K is on, therefore the current is flowing. You are finding with the arrow marks in the circuit. The principle which I said just now, V equal to IR is a basic Ohm's law. Okay, where R equal to rho into L by A. This is from the resistivity resistance relation formula which we studied starting of this current electricity. This gives the principle why they mention here rho and all, since rho is a material property. That's why I said uniform cross-sectional area of the wire as well as current is constant through the wire. So V equal to K into L, since V is directly proportional to L. That gives the potentiometer principle. That is the potential difference you are finding here. The potential difference across any length of a wire of uniform cross-section and uniform composition is proportional to its length when a constant current flows through that. Therefore, V is directly proportional to L here. Okay, who are constant, current is constant, and uniform composition in the sense total area of cross section must be constant or same entire wire. So then this is applicable. Let us see, this is a potentiometer primary circuit we have seen. What it will do? This is a graph between the V and L. So the blue line gives us a gradient, potential gradient, just now we discussed. Now one application you are seeing here, comparison of EMFs of using potentiometer. We are using potentiometer to compare the EMF of cells. You know, cells in the sense two batteries, E1 and E2 we are taking. One is 10 volts, one is 5 volts, anything it will be. Those two EMFs we are comparing, which is having the more. Usually in practical case, we prefer to take there in laboratory Daniell cell and Leclanché cells we will prefer. Sometimes Daniell cell, Leclanché cell is not available. Normal torch cell also you can use and the other cell you can use. But whatever the cell you are using in the circuit, that must be less than the EMF of this primary battery which we connected in the primary circuit. Okay.
Yes, sir.
E1. See, first I am finding the E1 I have connected to the resistance box and to the galvanometer and jog J. So the current flows through that. And next E2 also I am connecting from the same terminal and I have connected at a point resistance box. But the position which you are seeing at the resistance box, the dot point, here we are using two-way key. Means the connection simultaneously having A and to B as well as at a time. So for that purpose, at a time we can connect only one. Another one we will put it in off mode. Means it is in a open circuit. This is in a closed. Let us say first initially even I have applied, I have started application, I have turned on switch and the current flowing through that. Here in the case of even, then first as usual null point I will check before doing the experiment. After that when I connected even cell, again I have to slide the job from starting to some point. At particular point I got a reading J1, means even is directly proportional to E1 is directly proportional to L1. Then next what I'll do, I'll remove this, I'll connect here, then I'll get J2 is there, no dotted lines.
Yes, sir.
This is the second reading. For the second cell, E2 is directly proportional to L2 length. Means at this point, the null point will get here 0. And for this null point is get here, it is 0. Both cases null point comes 0, then only that is a length. For example, this has come at the position of this is 100, 150. Okay, but L2 length has come at the 80, like that. Just normal rough reading sample, 80 centimeters. Okay, so whatever length, at what length it is, the potential drop becomes 0 or current through the galvanometer equal to 0, then that is we are taking as a resistance per unit length in previous meter bridge. But here potential drop we are saying here it is. So you can see here, as I said, same E1 equal to V AJ1 in the sense the length, AJ2 in the sense second length. Therefore, when I'll take the ratio of those two, since we are comparing L1 by L2, so L1 by L2 aa gaya, means we got it. So
Yes.
we found the comparison. So this is the formula we will use in a tabular form of experiment also. See here, the balance point will not be obtained on the potentiometer wire if the fall of potential along the potentiometer wire is less than the EMF of the cells to be measured. Means whatever the EMFs are there, this EMFs must be less than this. It is always greater than these two EMF of the cells. Then only it is applicable. Next, the working of potentiometer is based on a null deflection method. Means whatever the galvanometer becoming 0, it's called null deflection method. So the resistance of the wire becomes infinity. When current is 0 in the sense, the resistance of the wire becomes infinity. As I told you, these are the wires are made up of resistive material. Thus potentiometer can be regarded as ideal voltmeter. Now actual point we reached. Why we call it as ideal voltmeter? Ideal voltmeter means normally if you take the voltmeter, it offers high resistance. But if you use potentiometer concept, we can find a small cell, our cell phone battery EMF also we can find. But the same cell phone battery EMF we cannot find by using voltmeter by connecting the terminals, because that is having voltmeter having high resistance. Here potentiometer doesn't have any resistance. That's why it is also act as ideal voltmeter, we can say at times, because of course practically is different. It's very accurately gives the reading for us. Okay, potentiometer uses that basically. After direct device is there, direct multimeter is there. Why we are using potentiometer? Because of this reason only. Okay. Now,
Yes.
whatever you have seen, this is the external part of the circuit. This is for comparison of EMF of the cells. For my question, there is another experiment in this. For example, to find the internal resistance, if I'll ask, everything is same, but I'll connect only one cell. This cell I'm not going to connect there. If one cell I'll connect, this cell's internal resistance I'm going to find. As usually I'll find, but there is a formula little change. We studied already relation between the internal resistance and terminal voltage. Okay, with respect to that formula, we will go it. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
that is in that case. So this is all about the potentiometer as well as which we studied the meter bridge concept, right? Let we have a small animation of these. Just you will get a practical idea about those things. These are the OLabs people, which is made up of Amrita University. It's so grateful. They are helping all the students nowadays by this type of making practical animation and all. Uh, After being, we have so many videos, but these animations are so helpful. Let us say till now we were discuss about the potentiometer, right? Comparison of EMF of the cell, internal resistance. Once we will have a glance across this animation, then you will get a very nice idea regarding this. They developed the simulation also, but simulation not far ahead is better. Means some are not working at times.
Potentiometer comparison of EMF. Circuit diagram. Materials required. Ammeter. One-way key. Rheostat. Battery. Potentiometer. Daniell cell. Lagrange cell. Two-way key. High resistance box and galvanometer. Procedure. Connections are made as shown in the circuit diagram. Insert the one-way key. Adjust the rheostat and note the ammeter reading. Insert the key in between the terminals A and C of the two-way key. To check whether the connections are correct or not, place the jockey at the two end points of the wire. If the galvanometer shows opposite deflections, the connections are correct. Slide the jockey over the potentiometer wire and stop when the galvanometer shows zero deflection and measure the length from point P. It is taken as the balancing length L1. Record the values in a tabular column.
See, we have to make a tabular form like this. We have to take E1 reading with respect to L1, E2 reading with respect to L2. When you are on the switch for the E1 in two-way key, then E1 readings and next E2 reading. First, if that's up to you. First, all the readings of E1, if you measure, let us say Lagrange cell, E2 is the Daniell cell. You are taking all the readings later on. To compare, you divide and see that that is a comparison of the two cells which gives us. Okay, so this is the way we will do the experiment. If you want, you can check in OLabs. You will get all the experiments and some of the simulations also available. This is helpful for us so much